It's been a minute. It's been a while, but I had the sudden urge today to make a YouTube video. Now, what is the topic going to be about? I have no idea. I just wanted to say hi. Also, I realized today that I really missed YouTube. So if you're following me on Instagram, I also did a story this morning about how I had my post-period workout, and I just felt so energized. Like, working out in general, really gets the juices flowing creatively for me, and I feel like I get a ton of intuitive downloads from that. But today, it just really felt like my creativity bug was just ignited in a new way. So I've been on Substack lately, actually for the past few months, and I've been really exploring writing as my channel for expressing myself. And I even said on there, I said, I do have a YouTube channel, and I got my start on YouTube in 2020. I picked up a camera for the very first time and made my very first YouTube video during the pandemic, and I was scared shitless, but something just really inspired me to want to do that. And that's where I got my start, my first time talking to a camera by myself and getting comfortable with just the awkwardness of that. So I've always YouTube still has my heart, honestly, even though I haven't posted to my channel in probably over a year at this point. So needless to say, the direction of the channel is changing slightly. Before, I was really using it to market my business. At the time I was doing business coaching of some sort. But now, and my business has it's gotten a facelift. I'm doing something different. I'm actually doing ClickUp strategies work. That's what I'm doing right now. But in general, I wanted to, I got into this space, like so many others, where you start off doing something super creative, and then eventually capitalism convinces you, hey, but you can turn this into a business. Why don't you turn this into a business? And of course, my Capricorn was like, yeah, let's do that. But at the same time, I tried just too hard to make the business work, and in the process, I sacrificed a ton of my own creativity. And I don't really want to do that anymore because honestly, I love business. I love being an entrepreneur. It lights me up. I love it so much. But, and I feel like this is probably a cliche thing to say because I see so many creators saying this, it's not the only part of me. And actually, I even want to take it a little bit of a step further. It's not so much that it's not the only part of me, but it's the fact that it's not the part of me necessarily that is, it's not the only part of me that's responsible for making me feel alive, if that makes sense. I feel like when we get into this habit of making this one thing responsible for so much of our happiness, that ends up becoming a very slippery slope. And so I really am pushing myself to pay more attention to more of this creative side of me, this more exploratory, let's just try this for shits and giggles side of me, because I don't want to put that much pressure on my business. Honestly, I don't think we should be putting that much pressure on anything. There is not one thing in this world, or one person in this world, also I should mention, that can be all things to us, that can give us everything that we need. It's not possible. It's far too much pressure. And also, why force ourselves to have to do that? Because it's such a big, huge world. If you're blessed, it's a long life. So why not give yourself the chance to explore all of these different things, right? So all that to say, I'm also going to start posting back to my YouTube channel, long story short, but not every day, probably not even every week, honestly, as I feel like it. Kind of like how I've been doing with my Substack. As the moment strikes and I feel compelled to write, to express myself, I post to my Substack. And as the moment strikes, as I feel compelled, I will press record and go on ahead and express what it is that I'm expressing at any given moment of the day. So there you have it. There you have it. So these videos aren't necessarily going to be going in any particular direction. It's kind of just like, just talking about whatever I feel like talking about in the moment. So right now, I just finished going live on LinkedIn. So that's where I market my ClickUp business. I just finished that. And so now, well, I just did this. And so after that, I'm probably going to just check a few emails, just do some of that administrative stuff, just to keep the juices flowing and the wheels moving. And then I'm going to have lunch. And then later today, this evening, I'm actually going to a kind of a networking event, but my career, my 9 to 5 was HR, and that I was in this wonderful HR group called Safe Space, and I live in Massachusetts, so I'm going to go to the outing for the Boston chapter. So that's going to be fun. That'll be later on this evening at a brewery. I never used to really be a beer person. I'm still not a beer person, but somehow, some way, I tasted a few that actually didn't make me want to gag. So whatever, we'll just, as I find the things that I like, I will try them. So that's what I'm doing later on today. But other than that, the day is actually pretty spacious. I don't have too much going on. I purposely scheduled my day like that because it may not seem like it, but I assure you, I am introverted by nature, and I'm also very much a hermit. So I do enjoy going out, but I enjoy it in very small doses. And I also get really strategic about my calendar. I don't like to have a ton of meetings booked on the same day. I don't like to have I don't like to, when I have to go outside to go to an event or to go hang out with people. I kind of don't like to do stuff that day either. I kind of like to just block it off and conserve my energy. The outings and things are super fun, but they also do take a lot of energy. So I try to be cognizant of that when I'm managing my calendar right now. And if you're following me on Substack, if you're not, then I'll make sure I link to that down in the description box below as well. You'll know that I got laid off in January from my HR job. So I've really just been running my business full time. And honestly, I love it. I love it. And it's so funny because I literally dreamed of this moment from honestly since 2020. Even as soon as I even got the offer for the job, I immediately said to myself every single year, you know what? Next year, I'm going to go full time in my business and I'm going to quit. I said that to myself every single year. And then 2024 was a year where I was just kind of you know what? I don't want to put all this pressure on this business. I need to pull back. Let me just try and find a different job that is a better fit for me. And the way the HR market was looking in the field that I was looking in, because I was thinking about going into tech, it was not working out. So this year, when I got laid off in January, even though it sucks to get laid off, at the same time, I could not help but feel just the excitement of knowing that, oh shit, I am in my next chapter. And that has been super exciting. But I live my days how I'd wanted. I operate my business full time. I am of the philosophy, my business mentor, shout out to Dr. Marvette Lacey, work your business in 10 hours a week, and that is what I do, and it works. And I've been able to, and it's so funny because now that I'm not working in HR full time, I've been able to dedicate so much more mental space to my business. Even though I'm not mentally thinking about my business all day long, because that's awful. If that's your experience, please do get some coaching. Even though I'm not doing that, because my brain is not distracted and being sucked in by whatever nonsense shenanigans were going on at my 9 to 5, I was able to free up so much space for just my intuition to kind of bring things to my attention that I just did not have the mental space to be able to think about it or address those things previously. So it's been really eye-opening for me, and it's really opened my eyes to a lot of the things that I needed to work on in my business, particularly in terms of my positioning or my messaging, like really thinking about it in a different way, and also going about like this idea of like lead generation in a very different way, because I do feel like many of the people in the industry who are teaching these things, I'm not teaching these things, I'm not doing that. But it's like many people in the industry who, you know, when you're first starting out, first trying to grow your business, you're trying to learn from people who it looks like they have what it is that you want to have. A lot of them were still skipping so many steps, just skipping so many steps when it comes to what's needed to actually build your business the way you want to. So my eyes are really opening. And I'll definitely share with you everything that I'm learning, everything that I'm trying. I want you to get the behind the scenes look of that, and I don't want you to have to pay for it. It's like I'm just gonna share it. Like, I have a business, I sell ClickUp services. If you're interested, check me out on LinkedIn, but that is it. Like, I do not have any intention to go back into like business coaching. Like, it's just too big. It's too big of a thing, in my humble opinion. We don't have to agree on everything, but in my humble opinion, I just feel like business coaching is just far too big. People promise too much. It's far too big. Like, you can't bring someone from 0 to a 6-figure business in a year without skipping so many steps, and then that person inevitably, because they never learn those steps, they end up freaking out and self-sabotaging. You have to learn the steps. You have to. And business coaching is just, it's too big. It's always been too big. Like, there are so many phases of a business that you really have to learn and fine tune. And even getting to this, like, my business is by no means perfect right now, but even getting to this point, it took me almost 5 years just to get to this point. Like, just the industry just skips far too many steps. Anyways, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. This has been fun. I definitely want to do more of these types of videos. Maybe I'll experiment with like some vlogging, things like that. But also, you know, it depends. It depends on what I'm feeling. Depends on what I'm doing. What's happening. I hope the audio is okay. I'm in a new office, so it's a very large room. You can see I'll do a little spin. Yeah, so hopefully that spin didn't make you sick. But we'll see how this audio is, because I have no idea. I have the little fuzzy thing on top of the camera. One of these days, I will truly master this tech stuff, and I will be so happy when I do. All right. So follow me on Instagram if you like more things like this that are a bit more short form. I'm usually in my stories. Sometimes I'll post a reel of some kind, but it's honestly pretty sporadic. You know, that's just, to me, like this fun creative stuff, like I don't like it on a schedule. So that's that here. Or my Substack. I also have like some posts that I've already created, so feel free to dig into that like library of content if you're interested. But other than that, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you on a similar journey? Like, what's going on in these chaotic times? Like, how are you connecting back to you? I'd love to hear from you. All right. Take care. Bye.